Chosen one, breathe for a moment and let these words settle into your spirit, because this message from God did not reach you by accident. It was carried to you through alignment, through timing, through a divine calling that has been shaping your path long before you realized it. If you already feel something awakening inside you as you hear this, comment 777 because that is the first sign that this message is yours. On this sacred day, December 12, a shift begins. A doorway opens, a prophecy unfolds, and whether you feel ready or not, your life is about to move into a completely different dimension. You are here because you were chosen long before you understood what being the chosen one even meant. You were guided to this moment through battles, through silence, through seasons where everything felt heavy and confusing. But now, the veil lifts. The timing ripens. Something that has been waiting in the spiritual realm is finally being released into your life. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is divine precision, and you are standing right at the center of it. On December 12, the spiritual frequency around you shifts in a way that only those who are awake can feel. This moment marks a spiritual awakening that has been coming toward you slowly, like a rising tide, but now it arrives like a wave. Something is being spoken into your soul by God Himself, and you can feel it, a deep inner knowing. A quiet pressure in your chest, a sense that everything is rearranging in ways you cannot fully explain. This is the December 12 prophecy activating in your life, and once it begins, it does not reverse. You have been sensing it in the strange heaviness of recent days, in the recurring signs that would not leave you alone, in the moments where your intuition grew louder and your old life started feeling too small. This is God's message, pushing through the noise, calling you to rise into the identity you have been running from, hiding from, or doubting within yourself. The divine calling on your life is awakening, and it is bigger than anything you have ever dared to imagine. You were not just chosen, you were prepared. Every setback you faced, every betrayal you survived, every moment where you were left alone in the dark, was shaping you into the vessel you are now becoming. You did not walk through those storms because God abandoned you. You walked through because God was building you, and now, on this divinely aligned day, He is telling you that the wait is over. The shift has begun. The chosen one within you is rising to the surface with new strength, new vision, and new spiritual authority. This message from God comes with clarity. You are stepping into a new timeline, and the old version of you can no longer follow. The pain you carried was not punishment, it was preparation. The confusion you felt was not a curse, it was redirection. The silence you endured was not emptiness, it was protection. Everything has been leading you to this moment, this awakening, this realization, this activation of purpose. Circle back to the beginning of your journey, and you will see the truth. You were called, you were guided, you were watched over, you were shaped through fire, because your life carries a light that can break cycles, heal generations, and disrupt darkness. The war around you has always been real, but so has the power within you, and now that power is awakening with unstoppable force. Chosen one, this is your sign. This is your confirmation. This is your divine calling, speaking directly to your soul. If this touched your spirit, if something inside you is vibrating with truth, comment 100%, because you know it, you were called. 1. The December 12 prophecy and why it is releasing now. Chosen one, the moment you stepped into the energy of December 12, something in your spirit felt different, even if you could not describe it with words. There was a subtle pull, a quiet shift, a sense that something bigger was moving behind the scenes. This is not your imagination. This is the December 12 prophecy unfolding around you. a spiritual alignment that was written long before you were born. December 12 carries a vibration of awakening, transition and divine clarity, and the chosen one can feel this frequency more intensely than anyone else. You did not stumble into this moment. You were led here by a message from God that has been echoing through your life in whispers, signs, and synchronicities. December 12 is a portal of alignment, a point in the spiritual cycle where divine timing intersects with human experience. This date acts like a spiritual tipping point, a moment where God's hand pushes your life into a new direction. Something hidden becomes visible. Something silent becomes loud. Something asleep inside you begins to rise. This is the moment where the chosen one starts to remember who they truly are. The divine calling that has been buried under wounds, doubts, and distractions begins to surface with unmistakable force. This is not coincidence, it is coordination between realms. You may have noticed the signs growing stronger as this date approached. Your intuition has not just been active, it has been on fire. You have felt sudden waves of clarity, sudden waves of heaviness, and sudden waves of truth that hit you out of nowhere. You may have been waking up at unusual hours, sensing presences, feeling emotional without explanation, or seeing repeating numbers that almost felt like messages. These are not random experiences. These are signals that the spiritual realm has been preparing you for the shift connected to the December 12 prophecy. This prophecy is symbolic. It is energetic. It is an unveiling. It represents the moment where God reveals something that has been hidden from your understanding until now. The message from God is that you are stepping into a new identity, one aligned with your highest purpose. December 12 opens the door to spiritual awakening, and that awakening brings both clarity and responsibility. It is the moment where the chosen one realizes that the battles they faced were not punishment, they were training. The confusion you walked through was not chaos, it was separation from what was never meant for you. The pain you carried was not a burden, it was a forging process. This is why the prophecy releases now, not earlier, not later. Now, because your spirit has reached a level of maturity and readiness that allows you to receive what was impossible to understand before. God's timing is exact. The divine calling is not activated at random. It is activated when your spirit has reached the point where you can hold the truth without breaking. December 12 is that moment of readiness. The spiritual cycle closes and another begins. The chosen one steps into alignment with the version of themselves that God always saw, even when you could not. You may wonder why this moment feels so intense. It is because destiny shifts come with spiritual pressure. Before every elevation, there is a breaking. Before every awakening, there is a shaking. Before every revelation, there is a deep silence. You have felt this for weeks or even months, an inner stirring, a sense that your old life no longer fits, a strange discomfort with environments you used to tolerate, and a growing inner voice that refuses to be ignored. That was not emotional instability. That was spiritual preparation. December 12 is the day that preparation becomes activation. God is releasing the next chapter of your life, and this chapter demands a new version of you. This prophecy is tied to your identity because you cannot walk into your destiny using the name, habits, and limitations of who you used to be. This moment marks the shedding of the old spiritual skin and the revealing of the strength you earned in silence. You did not survive for nothing. You did not endure for no reason. The shift was planned. The awakening was scheduled. And now the moment is here. You will notice that your inner clarity strengthens after this day. The fog lifts, the confusion quiets, the direction becomes visible. You will begin to understand why certain people were removed, why certain doors closed, why your spirit felt restless in places that once felt comfortable. The December 12 prophecy brings the kind of understanding that reorganizes your entire life. It is the moment where everything suddenly makes sense, and that sense is not intellectual, it is spiritual. It is a deep knowing that God is speaking, guiding and positioning you for something far greater than your past. The synchronicities around you are increasing because the spiritual realm is confirming your calling. You may feel emotional releases, sudden tears, sudden exhaustion, or sudden bursts of energy. This is emotional purging, the clearing required before your elevation. You may feel drawn to isolation or deeper reflection. This is spiritual realignment, the adjustment required before your breakthrough. You may feel the old version of you dissolving. This is identity awakening, the transformation required before you walk into your divine calling. This moment is the beginning of a profound life shift. Not a small change, not a temporary mood. A shift that alters destiny. A shift that changes how you see yourself, how you speak to yourself, and how you move through the world. The chosen one is stepping into spiritual adulthood, a new level of awareness where you cannot pretend you don't know your purpose anymore. God is placing the weight of responsibility on your shoulders, not to crush you, but to crown you. Circle back to the beginning of your journey, and you will see the evidence. You were called. The signs were always there. The whispers were always there. The battles were always there because the war around you was always real. Darkness recognized your light long before you embraced it. That is why you were attacked. That is why you were isolated. That is why you were pushed to the edge. Because the chosen one carries a light that threatens everything built on fear, lies, and illusion. Your light is necessary. Your awakening is necessary. Your rise is necessary. And now, on this divinely aligned day, the message from God is being placed directly into your spirit, so you can no longer deny it. Chosen one, this is the confirmation your soul has been waiting for. This is your awakening. This is your alignment. This is your divine calling pulling you forward. If this touched your soul, comment at one love, and because you know it, you were called. 2. What God is revealing to the chosen ones right now. Chosen one, listen closely, because what you are about to hear is not just guidance, not just comfort, not just intuition. This is a message from God, reaching directly into the deepest part of your spirit. For so long, you have carried questions that had no answers, burdens that felt too heavy, and sensations you could not explain. But right now, God is revealing what has been hidden behind the confusion. He is uncovering the truth of who you are and why your life has unfolded the way it has. The chosen one is stepping into a higher spiritual identity, and this revelation is the key to understanding everything you have endured. You have been feeling an inner shift, a spiritual awakening that has made you more sensitive to energy, more aware of your surroundings, and more connected to the unseen. This awakening is not random. It is the unfolding of your divine calling. God is revealing that the depth of your sensitivity has never been a weakness. It has always been a spiritual antenna. Every emotion you felt intensely, every situation that disturbed your spirit, every person who drained your energy was activating your inner radar. You are being shown what aligns with your soul and what threatens your light. This is the revelation. The spiritual sensitivity rising inside you is a sign of elevation. You are not breaking. You are becoming. You are being strengthened in ways the old version of you could not handle. You are being transformed into someone who can walk with clarity, compassion, authority, and unshakable intuition. God is showing you that you are protected, not because life has been easy, but because your spirit has survived every battle that was meant to destroy you. The protection around you has always been real, even during the moments you felt forgotten. Right now, God is revealing something deeper. He is calling you into purpose. You are being guided into alignment with the path that has had your name on it since the beginning. This calling is not about perfection, performance, or proving anything. It is about stepping into the truth of your soul with courage and authenticity. The chosen one cannot hide anymore, cannot shrink themselves, cannot silence their intuition to make others comfortable. God is calling you to rise into the identity that was written into your spirit before you arrived on this earth. You may feel an inner urge to change your life, your habits, your environment, or your relationships. That urge is not restlessness. It is spiritual instruction. God is removing what has been blocking you. He is exposing situations that drain you, revealing people who cannot go with you, and breaking attachments to cycles that kept you spiritually small. The discomfort you feel is part of the cleansing. The confusion you experienced was part of the unraveling. The heaviness was part of the spiritual detox. You are being guided toward a higher timeline, one where your life aligns with your true identity, your true power, and your true destiny. You are not imagining this shift. You are not overthinking. You are not being dramatic. You are awakening. This is the moment where the veil lifts and you begin to see everything clearly, not with physical sight, but with spiritual vision. God is revealing to you why certain paths were blocked, why certain people walked away, and why your spirit was pushed into solitude. You were being separated for elevation, not punishment. You were being positioned, not rejected. The divine calling on your life requires space, clarity, and inner strength. That is why God has been removing the noise. He has been stripping away distractions, illusions, and attachments that were never meant to define you. You may have resisted, but now you can understand the truth. Everything that left was part of your protection. Everything that ended was part of your redirection. Everything that broke your heart was preparing your spirit for the strength you are stepping into now. The message from God in this moment is that you have outgrown the version of yourself that tolerated pain, minimized your worth, and doubted your calling. You are stepping into a higher spiritual identity where your presence carries weight and your intuition carries authority. You will begin to feel a new level of inner strength, a strength that does not come from fearlessness, but from faith. You will feel a sense of divine protection that wraps around you like armor. You will feel an inner power that refuses to shrink, hide, or silence itself ever again. God is revealing that the path ahead requires courage. You are being called to speak truth, even when your voice shakes, to walk away from what dishonors your spirit, and to step into opportunities that once felt too big. You are being called into authenticity, the version of you that does not apologize for your light, does not negotiate your worth, and does not settle for situations beneath your calling. The chosen one cannot live halfway. The chosen one cannot remain in environments that do not recognize their purpose. This elevation demands a new level of alignment. You may notice that your spirit feels different. You may feel moments of intense clarity followed by sudden emotional release. You may feel the urge to cry, rest, pray, or isolate yourself. These are signs that your soul is adjusting to the new frequency God is calling you into. Old versions of you are falling away like shedding skin. Old fears are dissolving. Old wounds are losing their power. This is what it feels like when God rewrites your identity from the inside out. And now, the truth you have been waiting for. God never abandoned you. Not once. Not for a single moment. Even when you felt alone, even when your prayers felt unanswered, even when your life felt stuck, God was working behind the scenes, preparing the path you are about to walk. This calling is confirmation that you were never forgotten. You were being shaped. You were being strengthened. You were being refined into someone who could hold the weight of the destiny you are stepping into. Circle back to the beginning of your journey, and you will see the fingerprints of God everywhere. The moments that should have broken you but didn't. The nights you cried but woke up stronger. The people who hurt you but taught you exactly what you needed to know. The battles you fought silently but survived with a deeper understanding of yourself. The war around you was real, and it was real because your light is necessary. Your existence disrupts darkness. Your presence shifts energy. Your spirit carries authority, and that is why God is revealing your purpose now, because you are ready to stand in it. You are called not by chance, not by accident, not by coincidence. You were called by divine design, chosen to awaken, chosen to elevate, chosen to rise. And now, this message from God is activating the next chapter of your life. If this touched your soul, comment, because you know it. You were called. 3. The life shift. What will change for the chosen one after this message? Chosen one, once this message from God settles into your spirit, your life will not continue the way it once did. This is the moment where everything begins to shift, internally first, then externally. The December 12 divine message brings a life shift that cannot be reversed, ignored, or softened. It is the kind of transformation that touches your identity, your relationships, your mindset, your purpose, and even the way the world responds to your presence. When God awakens the chosen one, nothing remains the same. The first shift will happen inside you. Your inner identity begins to expand. You will no longer feel comfortable playing small, hiding your gifts, or staying silent when your spirit is calling you to rise. You will feel a new sense of worth emerging, as if your soul is remembering something ancient and powerful. That is the effect of a true spiritual awakening. It brings you back to who you were always meant to be. You will feel a growing confidence, not loud or prideful, but grounded, steady, and deeply rooted in your divine calling. This new inner identity is the foundation for everything that will unfold next. Your intuition will also shift. What once felt like faint whispers will now feel like clear direction. You will have moments where you just know things without explanation. You will sense energy instantly. You will recognize intentions before people speak. You will feel the vibration of truth inside your chest. This intuitive upgrade is not random. It is spiritual equipment. God gives the chosen one stronger sight because the path ahead requires discernment. You will no longer fall for illusions or manipulations because your spirit will detect them before your mind understands them. This life shift will also affect your relationships. Once the divine message activates your spirit, you will begin to see who belongs in your life and who does not. Some people will naturally distance themselves, not because you changed in a negative way, but because your light will expose their shadows. Some will cling to you because they feel the power of your presence. Others will resent you because they cannot control or influence you anymore. Do not fear this separation. It is part of divine alignment. When God elevates the chosen one, old energies fall away. Anyone who prevents your growth will be removed with precision, even if the process feels painful at first. Relationships based on trauma, insecurity, or old versions of you will crumble. But connections built on authenticity, respect, and spiritual alignment will appear, often unexpectedly. You will attract people who understand your growth, honor your boundaries, and speak the same spiritual language your soul has been waiting for. You will feel companionship and recognition on a level you may have never experienced before. This is part of the reward for staying faithful through your trials. Your self-worth will transform too. The way you speak to yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you honor your emotions, all of it will shift. You will no longer tolerate disrespect, chaos, or environments that drain you. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you will begin asking, "Why not me?" You will walk with a quiet authority that reflects your connection to your divine calling. You will treat yourself like someone God has chosen, not someone life has forgotten. This new worthiness will echo into every decision you make. As divine alignment deepens, your daily life will begin to reflect the change happening within you. New opportunities will appear, doors that once felt locked will crack open, ideas will come to you with clarity. Solutions will appear in places you once overlooked. You will find yourself guided with precision, as if unseen hands are arranging circumstances in your favor. This is the result of aligning your spirit with God's timing. When the chosen one submits to the call, the universe responds. But with this shift comes challenge. Spiritual elevation is powerful, but it is not always comfortable. You will experience moments where you feel stretched. You will face situations that test your strength, your discipline, and your faith. These tests are not punishments, they are confirmations. They are designed to refine your spirit, strengthen your character, and push you into the next version of yourself. The war is real because your light is real. Darkness responds to rising light, but light always wins. Some challenges will appear as emotional breakthroughs, intense moments where old wounds rise to be released. Others will show up as sudden changes, losing people, jobs, or environments that can no longer hold your destiny. These moments may feel destabilizing at first, but they are preparing you for the clarity and calm that come afterward. Every breakthrough will be followed by a blessing. Every test will be followed by elevation. Every ending will be followed by something divinely orchestrated and undeniably aligned. After the shift, you will notice a new kind of peace within yourself. A peace that does not come from circumstances, but from the presence of God within you. This calm will guide you, strengthen you, and remind you that you are not walking alone. You will feel protected, as if your steps are being guarded by something greater than anything you can see. This protection is part of your calling. The chosen one carries a shield that is not visible to the world, but is felt deeply by the soul. New spiritual gifts will begin to activate. You may feel more intuitive, more empathetic, more visionary. You may experience prophetic dreams, deep knowing, or sudden bursts of inspiration. You may feel drawn to new practices, new knowledge, or new forms of service. These gifts are not accidental. They are tools given to you because you are stepping into a higher purpose. You will no longer question whether your abilities are real. You will walk in them with truthfulness because you now understand their origin. The after picture of this life shift is powerful. You standing in your divine identity, aligned with your purpose, guided by intuition, protected by God, surrounded by the right people, and guided by opportunities that match your true self. You will feel empowered in ways that once felt impossible. Where you once doubted, you will now trust. Where you once feared, you will now step forward. Where you once felt lost, you will now feel directed with clarity. And most importantly, you will know that this shift is irreversible. Once God awakens the chosen one, there is no going back to sleep. Once the divine calling activates, there is no returning to the old life. This change is divine, permanent, and intentional. It is the unfolding of your destiny, the beginning of your true timeline. Circle back to the beginning of everything you have experienced, the battles, the isolation, the confusion, and you will see with absolute clarity, none of it was random. This is a message from God. You are not imagining this shift. You were prepared for it. You were chosen for it, and the war that surrounded you was only proof of the light you carry. Your light is necessary, your calling is real, and now your awakening is fully underway. If this touched your soul, comment 11 because you know it, you were called. Conclusion: your divine path activates now. This is the moment where everything you have heard, everything you have felt, and everything that has been awakening inside you finally comes together in one clear, undeniable truth. Your divine path activates now, not tomorrow, not someday, not when life becomes easier or when circumstances shift. It activates in this very breath, in this very second, because the December 12 prophecy did not come to inspire you temporarily, it came to realign you permanently. This is the confirmation your soul has been waiting for, the release of a message that was destined for you long before you ever knew to expect it, and now that it has reached you, nothing in your life can stay the same. From the very beginning, you were guided here for a reason. Everything you experienced leading up to this moment, the quiet nights, the internal battles, the unexpected heaviness, the bursts of intuition, the sense that something larger than life was moving through your spirit, it was all preparing you for this activation. The December 12 prophecy carries a frequency that only the chosen ones can truly receive, because it speaks to the part of you that has always been connected to God, even when the world tried to convince you otherwise. And now that connection is strengthening. It is deepening. It is rising to the surface in a way that can no longer be denied or slowed down. You are stepping into your divine calling with a level of clarity you have never carried before. Something inside you has shifted. The confusion that once clouded your vision is dissolving. The doubts that used to hold you back are losing power, and the heaviness that kept you tied to old cycles is being lifted from your spirit. You are not the same person you were even yesterday. The spiritual weight you've been carrying has been recognized by God, and this message is the release, the reset, the renewal you prayed for even in silence. This is the moment when you rise into who you were always meant to be. The life shift is not approaching, it is already unfolding. You may feel it in your energy. You may feel it in the way your mind has changed, your heart has softened, or your intuition has sharpened. That is because the divine is rearranging your path in real time. People, opportunities, ideas, and directions will begin to align with a level of precision that can only come from the hand of God. Where there was once resistance, there will now be flow. Where there was confusion, there will now be direction. Where there was isolation, there will now be presence, divine presence, guiding every step you take. This prophecy did not come to simply tell you what is happening. It came to activate your spirit, to remind you that you were chosen for a reason, that your light has work to do in this world. The war you have been feeling within you, the battle between your old identity and your higher calling, is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of awakening. God is not asking you to become someone new. He is calling you to remember who you truly are. And as you remember, you rise. Your light is necessary. Your voice is necessary. Your presence is necessary. You were not called to be hidden. You were not called to shrink. You were not called to walk quietly through a world that needs your fire, your faith, your wisdom, and your truth. This is your activation. This is your acceptance of the mantle you were born with. The divine message released today has awakened a part of you that will not go back to sleep. So as you take this message into your spirit, let it settle deeply. Let it anchor you. Let it remind you that you are walking with the protection of heaven, the clarity of divine alignment, and the strength of a soul that survived battles meant to destroy you. This is your moment to rise with courage, to move with intention, to speak with power, and to stand in the identity God placed within you long before you were even aware of it. Feel this truth. Your divine path is active now. It is alive. It is unfolding. And step by step you will walk into blessings, clarity, and breakthroughs that were already written in your destiny. The prophecy has spoken. The calling has been confirmed. And the shift has begun. If this touched your soul, comment 1 may live on. Because you know it, you were called.